Today, we've got a big one because Mark Zuckerberg has admitted that he regrets caving into Biden's censorship demands, obviously to do with the pandemic. There was a lot of controversy around all of that. Facebook was censoring all sorts of stuff that didn't fit their agenda or the White House's agenda. There's plenty of proof of it, and Zuckerberg has come out saying that he regrets it. He's written this beautiful letter. We're going to be diving deep into what this means, what is actually being said, because this is so important, way more important than what we talk about on this channel, in my opinion. But of course, I will also be relating this back to the markets, both for Meta stock, for the wider, just the markets in general, and of course Bitcoin as well. But Zuckerberg's an interesting guy, man. I mean, he was kind of public enemy number 1 or 2 for a while, but he's really started to reinvent himself. I actually, for me, this is just getting crazy, right? Between everything that's going on this year, I posted this on Twitter. Obviously, you can go ahead and find my profile, as always, linked in the description of every video. Right here, I am posting my content on Twitter first, so make sure you check that out if you're interested. There's also exclusives that YouTube doesn't get. And obviously, we had Max Price come in over here saying that this is what happens when you take testosterone and do MMA. It stops you being a cuck. So his words, not mine, but Zuckerberg is definitely reinventing himself in some ways. And let's take a look at this. He sent a bombshell letter to House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan, expressing deep regret over Meta's compliance with Biden administration pressure to censor COVID-19 content in 2021. Now, before we continue, I want to do something interesting, right? We're doing a very different kind of video. Some people might not like this, but that's okay. I've always kind of made this YouTube channel just mine. But you let me know what you think in the comment section, because I want to know. But I've got ChatGPT open here on the latest version 4.0, and I've got a very simple question. Show me examples of Meta and Facebook, same thing, censoring COVID stuff that they and the White House didn't like. I know this text is very small, that's why I'm reading it out for you. And I want to show you this because ChatGPT, I've already tried this, in a different chat, and I've deleted all my chats, so this is like a fair test. But ChatGPT, surprisingly, is actually telling truthful things here. That there was suppression of the lab leak theory, about the vaccine content, just general humor and satire, the CDC involvement. There was, advising Facebook on what should be labeled as misinformation. I mean, there was so much government interference in private company affairs during the pandemic. I mean, it was the least American thing I could think of. And obviously, a lot of people who, kind of pay attention and love their country in the US, who love their constitution, who understand how important it is to protect and uphold it, they had a problem with things that were going on during this particular administration that we're still in. And they especially had a problem with the way that private companies caved in. It's why so many people are, including me, are happy with X. Now, this is a very political video, but that's completely okay with me because I think these opinions are actually a little bit more widespread than most people would care to say. And, again, I don't want to be kind of shy of saying what I feel. That Kamala video showed me that. Some of you guys thought I was a Kamala supporter. Couldn't be further from the truth. I just think that she would pump the markets because her policies would be shit. But, inflation leads to market pumps. It doesn't mean you're getting richer. It just means everyone's getting poorer. But anyway, we'll continue on with this one. Let's take a look at this letter before we read more of this tweet, because this letter is what's really interesting. Let's start from the top. So obviously addressed to Jim Jordan. And this is written by Zuckerberg, by the way. Chairman Jordan, I appreciate the committee's interest in content moderation on online platforms. As you are aware, Meta has produced thousands of documents as part of your investigation and made a dozen employees available for transcribed interviews. Further to our cooperation with your investigation, I welcome the opportunity to share what I've taken away from this process. There's a lot of talk right now around how the US government interacts with companies like Meta, and I want to be clear about our position. Our platforms are for everyone. We're about promoting speech and helping people connect in a safe and secure way. As part of this, we regularly hear from governments around the world and others with various concerns about public discourse and public safety. Now, to me, this is complete nonsense, but I think that, he is starting to reinvent this identity a little bit. He's definitely sending a message. Whether this is part of a bigger game or not, I don't know. But it's definitely sending the right message as far as what I can see. In 2021, senior officials of the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured their teams for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire, First Amendment doesn't really matter, does it? And expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. Ultimately, it was our decision whether or not to take content down, and we own our decisions, including COVID-19 related changes we made to our enforcement in the wake of this pressure. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. This is the problem when you're a coward, but at least you're coming around the other side. I also think we made some choices that, with the benefit of hindsight and new information, we wouldn't make today. Like I said to our teams at the time, I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction, and we're ready to push back if something like this happens again. Phenomenal. This will be tested again if the current government stays. And to be honest, ladies and gents, as much as you right-wing people are getting excited, this is probably going to happen if it's Trump as well. I don't believe that this is, just exclusive to certain sides of the political spectrum. You know, you're not ridding yourself of corruption, and all sorts of other nasty stuff just because Trump's in power. It ain't happening, mate. Forget about it. That's also a pipe dream. So, like I said to our teams at the time. Actually, let me carry on from here. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. I also think we made some choices that, with the benefit of hindsight and new information, can we guess what he's saying here, ladies and gents? I'm probably not allowed to talk about it, but you guys might be able to say it in the comment section. Can we guess what he's saying here? We wouldn't make those same decisions today. Like I said to our teams at the time, I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction, and we're ready to push back if something like this happens again. Brilliant. In a separate situation, the FBI warned us about a potential Russian disinformation operation about the Biden family and Burisma in the lead-up to 2020 elections. All right, how many of you guys remember that? Let me know in the comment section. That fall, when we saw a New York Post story reporting on corruption allegations involving then Democrat presidential nominee Joe Biden's family, we sent that story to fact-checkers for review and temporarily demoted it while waiting for a reply. It's since the level of honesty here. I mean, if you start trying to open up this closet, you're going to find a lot of skeletons in here from Meta, right? There's a lot of wrongdoing that they've done. But the fact that they are talking about some of their most high-profile, obscene, lies, in this case, lies of omission, is astounding to me. I mean, something is fucking going on. It's the reason I'm making a video, because, we don't talk about this stuff on this channel particularly often. But I couldn't, I was like, shit, I got a YouTube channel, I got shit to say, we're doing this. That's all the thinking that went into this, and obviously we're right back to regularly scheduled programming later on today, if not, obviously just tomorrow or whatever. But my God, what the hell is going on, to be admitting this? Right here, it's since been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation, and in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story. We've changed our policies and processes to make sure this doesn't happen again. For instance, we no longer temporarily demote things in the US while waiting for fact checkers. Look, there's no perfect here, right? Like, if you're getting something that's completely false and it's spreading like wildfire because, the internet has a lot of viral potential, you are going to get some things that are factually incorrect spreading like wildfire. But what's worse, censorship or a bit of sensationalism, which people can correct by simply being a little bit, just learning to be a little bit more skeptical and sensible with how they digest information online. It's called internet hygiene. Obviously, the more responsible path is going to be, a little bit more dangerous sometimes. But what's a lot more dangerous than that is just losing your freedoms. So, here we are. I guess I'm the. I need an affiliate code for the U.S. Constitution or something at this point, because that's what this is all about. I really think that there just must be some sort of favor or something that Zuckerberg was looking for that he didn't get. And this is why he's so upset. But let's take a look at this final paragraph. Apart from content moderation, I want to address the contributions I made during the last presidential cycle to support electoral infrastructure. The idea here was to make sure local election jurisdictions across the country, where was I? The idea here was to make sure local election jurisdictions across the country had the resources they needed to help people vote safely during a global pandemic. I made these contributions through the Zuckerberg initiative. Is he divorced now? I think he might be. I'm not sure. No, he's not. He's not. He's got a very stable relationship. They were designed to be non-partisan, spread across urban, rural, and suburban communities. Still, despite the analyses I've seen showing otherwise. I know that some people believe this work benefited one party over the other. My goal is to be neutral and not play a role one way or another, or to even appear to be playing a role. So I don't plan on making a similar contribution this cycle. That is obviously an interesting way of saying you're not getting my money anymore to the Dems. He's in an interesting position. We've seen RFK get behind Trump, and then we've seen his family exile him, politically at least. Absolutely crazy shit going on. Everybody is switching sides. Everybody is saying things they've never said before, thinking things they've never said before. It is such a crazy time. That Trump video, like I said, is still going to be on the way. If you're excited for it, do me a favor and smash those likes up, just to make sure that the YouTube algorithm, Twitter algorithm knows that you like this content, so that you want to and that you want to see it when it comes out. I want to bring something to your attention, ladies and gents. There is this coin called UFO Pepe, and I actually had an industry friend reach out to me about this coin, and I started following it. I've been looking at it for a couple of days. You actually saw me open up their Twitter a couple of videos ago, and they sent me a couple of tokens. So I've been paying attention to this thing. They're about to start trading on Ourbit. The deal with UFO Pepe, and you're gonna get this when you look at their Twitter page here, is that this project is actually headed by I can't remember if it's this guy that made Pepe or this guy, but one of these two guys, it must be this guy, that made the original Pepe, like the Pepe, the one that we all know. This is something that appears to be a bit of a spin-off. So fact check all of this stuff on your own. Do your own research as usual. But if it's something that you're interested in, I know a lot of you guys like to do some degenerate meme coin trading. Ourbit is actually a platform pretty much just designed for that. Trade meme futures. They don't make any effort to hide that, and you will find a link to Ourbit in the description below, Blowfin right here. You can sign up to it. You will get your bonuses, and you will be able to trade UFO Pepe when it launches in about 10 hours from now. So that's going to be super interesting. Here is a visualization of they're basically, the chart is now at a point where pretty much everybody that wants to sell it appears to have sold it. You can pause the video and just digest this. It basically shows that there's everybody that wants to sold has sold pretty much, apparently, based off this. Give it a check. It's interesting. It's something I'm watching out for, and I'll let you guys know how it goes at launch. I don't necessarily have crazy opinions either way on anything, but when my friends reach out to me at projects like this, I don't look often. I don't think that they're that interesting, but this guy's a good source. And yeah, I mean, it's got the narrative checked, at least, having that kind of relationship with the original Pepe, according to them there. So that's super, super cool. You can go ahead and check it out in the with the link in the description if you're interested in picking it up. But if we come back to the markets here and start talking about how this might affect them, we will come back to the original tweet as well in just a second here. The first thing to note is that Bitcoin itself has been dropping down. I'm not going to talk too much about Bitcoin in this particular video. If you want to see my Bitcoin analysis, you can subscribe to me using the link below. Obviously, if you're watching me on Twitter, you can just follow me, and you will get my next Bitcoin analysis. But we are at support. This is a bounce zone, and I would love to see support coming off this level. Does this have anything to do with Mark Zuckerberg? Probably not. But I do think that a lot of you guys are going to be interested in that analysis anyway. Obviously, there's a really, really nice box that we can draw right here. The box spans between 61 and 62K, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And it is now in this box where it could be finding a bit of support. Now, I think that this box can be drawn down a little bit lower, which is to say that we haven't actually reached it yet. And I think that as far as invalidations go, I am probably going to be interested in seeing my stop loss. I would like my stop loss here, like right below here, maybe 59.4. And that's okay, I mean, as far as risk to reward, because this is a very interesting setup for a trade, right? I mean, this is definitely something that I'd be very interested in trading. Obviously, if I do trade it, it's only going to be on Bybit or Blowfin, link down below. Apex is huge, by the way. A lot of you guys are going to like this. It is a decentralized exchange coming basically from Bybit, and it is the real deal. So definitely check it out if you like the idea of decentralized trading. Bybit, by the way, any of you that have any VIP tier, you can get a Bybit debit card anywhere in the world, so that's super cool. But as far as this trade setup goes, I mean, you know, stop loss around here, I'd probably, yeah, I mean, naturally you could target the highs. You know, I'm looking at about 2.5% risk, which is not bad, right? I mean, that's an entry of about 61k flat. I don't know if we would actually go down that low, but it would be nice, and we're pretty close. So about 2.5% risk. And, you know, I mean, on the downside, we're looking at, what is this, like, I mean, I could use 8x leverage on this, you know, fairly comfortably. What is 8x on 2.5? That sounds like 20% loss. So that's okay. It's okay. It's kind of the top end of what I would tolerate. But, you know, again, with 8 times leverage on a 16% profit, this is, oh my god, I'm embarrassing myself doing math live. This is 128% profit if it reaches that full potential. So it's a bloody clean setup. I mean, risk to reward ratio at 6.5 is phenomenal. So a very, very nice trade setup. Definitely a trade setup that I'm interested in taking. And I have been watching this as well for a few days now. I mean, I've been watching this ever since Bitcoin came up above this level. I was telling you guys about it. But anyway, I'm not going to give you much more than that. If you want to trade these platforms, and like I said, the links are available below. But I will start talking more about this Facebook stuff now, because I think that's what is a lot more interesting. And if you want to see that Bitcoin analysis, like I said, make sure you subscribe or follow in the page to get in on that. The tech mogul here admits that they should have been more outspoken against government-led censorship attempts. Zuckerberg reveals the White House repeatedly urged Meta to remove COVID-related content, and he now believes the pressure was wrong. So, I mean, this is absolutely fascinating. You know, I mean, it is a very real representation of tides shifting right in front of us. And quite frankly, I'm very interested in seeing how this plays out. You know, I've had strong opinions on this stuff for many, many years now, as many years as I've been conscious watching US elections and even UK elections to some extent. You know, and I firmly believe that any fluff, any excitement, any, you know, anything that happens in a presidential cycle, in a presidential election cycle, you know, is just not relevant. It's just not relevant for most people at all, because most people already know what they want to vote. And it's for the people that aren't decided, it's not relevant for them until the final week before election. So all of this crazy shit that's happening is going to lead to very, very interesting recaps of the last 6 months come November, because these last couple of months have been crazy. You know, and I think that it's going to be very, very interesting how this stuff continues to play out. You know, with the Dems losing such a key figure, you know, that was kind of helping them bolster all of their policies and directions that they wanted to steer the country and the world in. So we'll see how this goes. Shout out to Mario for running this page. He is an absolute legend, and he he basically just posts news. Some of his content is sometimes a little bit strange, but a lot of it is I would say is actually quite relevant to, I don't know, culture these days. So go ahead and check it all out. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, let me know. If you haven't, let me know. You probably haven't made it this far if you haven't enjoyed it. I'm not actually done because I haven't talked about Meta yet. But Meta stock hasn't moved. If we look at this on, you know, quite short time frames here, Meta stock has been pretty stable since Monday, which was granted just yesterday, but you know, pretty stable. I guess this drop may have been when his statement was released. Let me see if I can tie this up. This was 12:30 on August 27. So no, because this was only 17 hours ago. That this dropped. So we're in UTC time zone here, and that puts us where is 12:30? Oh yeah, we're doing a time zone conversion. Yeah, I can't do that, but it doesn't look like there's much. You guys think that that I make it up when I say I'm bad at math, but no, it's pretty bad out here. But yeah, I think quite clearly, you know, the stock price remains unaffected. If we take a look at the S&P 500, we are unaffected. If we take a look at the dollar, unaffected. It really is just Bitcoin kind of doing its own thing right now. Bitcoin's dominance is also holding pretty strong, so I'm really liking these signs as well. There is a lot going on here. There's a lot of very interesting stuff. It's going to get a hell of a lot more interesting. If you want to continue to get my thoughts on this stuff, then let me know in the comment section. I want to hear your feedback. This is an interesting, different one. Let's see what's up, ladies and gents. Let's see what's up. Thank you all very much for watching. Get access to the free cash available to you when you start trading using these links below. And check out Ourbit if you want to see what's up with this UFO Pepe meme coin. Like I said, this is pretty much just a meme coin exchange. The link is down below for it. And yeah, it's just an interesting little speculative thing. It's not going to be for everybody, but for some of you, it's going to be right up your alley. Feel free to check it out if you're one of those people. All right, ladies and gents, thank you all very, very much. You know what to do. Hit up those likes, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.